this is Dr. Dain. Welcome to this installment of the Tour of Consciousness. It is so great to be with you. And quite frankly, I'm really excited. I know a lot of you heard about the Global Bars class that actually occurred last week now. I'm like, when did it occur? 100 billion years ago? I'm not sure. It was amazing. We had many people from around the world participate, and it was so much fun. And it was truly life-changing for me personally. And I go through a lot of change, a lot. And this thing was just so amazing to have this many people get together and contribute to each other. And wow, I'm grateful to each and every one of you who participated. Thank you. And I'm also really grateful to my amazing team at Access Consciousness who contributed to making it happen, who some of them spent days upon days upon days creating accounts for people so they could watch it online. I mean, you amazing people, thank you. I'm truly filled with gratitude. One of the things I realize is sometimes change can seem really uncomfortable. When you do something different, or when you even step into something that you've been asking for, if it's different than what you had, lots of times it can be uncomfortable. So just be aware of that. When you were a little kid, you were just space, pretty much. And you were sort of, for most of us, I mean, some of us came in sort of contracted because we had all kinds of either abuse or family obligations or whatever it was, or that was our role, you know, to take care of everybody. But for the most part, kids are pretty much just space. They're just being whatever space they need to be, whatever space is available at the time they're willing to be it. And then what happens is you realize, oh, I can't be that space with my mom because when I'm too happy, she's mean to me. Or I can't be that space with my dad because when I'm too happy, he feels bad about himself. Or I can't be that space with my grandma because when I'm too happy, she feels like I'm not doing enough for her or being enough for her, or whatever it happens to be. And so what you do is you start to contract the space you have available. So what invention are you using to create the contraction of the space of being you are choosing? Everything that is, times a gazillion, we destroy and uncreate it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and meow. If you'll run that process, what it does is it takes you out of the place where you have to contract you into this. But one other piece of information I want to give you, and then we'll call it quits today for the Tour of Consciousness, is that what happens is you have, if you do any kind of work, and for me, you know, it's access, obviously. So if the more access that I've noticed I do, or let's just put it in any context, if you do any kind of work that really is about getting you out of judgment, that really is about giving you the awareness of infinite possibilities that you are, like truly getting to what you are. What happens is you started out like this in whatever area, you know, let's say around your family or around money or around your friends or whatever, and all of a sudden the space increases. Because that's what you're looking for with what you're doing. You're actually looking for a space of being. And what happens is the space of being increases. And what I've noticed with access, in contrast to everything else I had done, the space increases, and then it increases, and then it increases. Now what happens is, before for me it would increase, and then it would really decrease again. And I was like, man, maybe I don't know what happened. But since I started doing access, the space increased and increased and increased. But the piece of information I really want to give you is that, let's say the space increases. Now if you have, and boy, I hope this is making sense. I hope I don't just sound totally nuts right now. I'm hoping you're getting what I'm talking about here. But because you know what it's like to have a sense of space, right? A sense of space of being. Well, let's say the baseline space you occupy starts to increase. And then if you contract just a little bit, it feels really uncomfortable. And a lot of times then you make the mistake of going, oh my God, I've lost it all. I've gone back to where I was before. No, you haven't gone back to here. It's just that this change from here to here, even that much compression or contraction, is so uncomfortable that you think, oh my gosh, I've lost it all. So wherever you've judged you, thinking you've lost it all, that you've lost the hard-fought gains you've made, rather than realizing that, oh my gosh, my baseline has increased so much that just this little bit of contraction is uncomfortable, will you destroy and create it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and meows. And in so doing, would you be willing to come out of the wrongness of you? If you learn to contract, let's say, around your dad, you needed to be smaller because it made him uncomfortable, just as one example, and there are thousands, if not more. Anytime you're around anybody who has a similar vibration to your dad, similar point of view, a similar way of being, what you'll do is you'll try to go to that old place of contraction. What if it's just you trying to do an old habit or an old pattern? What's your way out of it? just look at it and go, you know what? Pod and pock all that. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm making a different choice now. And then ask, what other choice do I have right now? And what space can I be? So please use this tool, the process I gave you, which is about getting back to the space of being, but also this awareness that you're not wrong. You're not going back to where you were before. You're just doing, you just maybe contracted a little bit, and maybe it's not even yours. And maybe this thing that feels like contraction is actually right before you're about to get to the door to change the very next thing that you can change to increase your baseline of space that you be. Because that's what I've seen it be more often than not. Usually you get to this place, you're this space, and for some reason you contract yourself a little bit and it gets so uncomfortable. You're like, I'm not doing that anymore. And that's when you make the demand, I'm going to be more like this more often. Forget going back there. Thank you, my beautiful friends. Thank you so much for being part of the Tour of Consciousness. Thank you for being the gift you are to the world that I hope you're beginning to know. And what if you, truly being you, are the gift and the change this world requires? Look forward to being with you next time on the Tour of Consciousness. This is Dr. Dain saying bye-bye for now.